everyone, welcome back. It's middle of July and I'm driving down into the Essex area here this morning for our first run at wheat. We took the Ideal 8, which was the combine that we did in the last corn demo video there with the wheels on it. It's down at the Essex store. We've got the 40-foot Gearinghoff Razor down there as well. And we're just trying to figure out where we go this morning. We've got two customers that have offered for us to come. One is a friend of mine. I've sold a bunch of stuff to him in the past, and he understands that we need a bit of a time with this machine to be able to start setting it up and just dial things in a little bit. The other customer is actually interested in looking at the machine from a purchase standpoint. So I'm leaning more towards going to my friend's place. Not that he's not interested in it, but he understands that it needs probably a couple hours of fine tuning to be able to play with it, and check the losses, and do all that sort of stuff. And the other customer just wants to get going. So yeah, so I've got about another 30 minutes here. I just got west of Chatham, and it's gone from along the highway seeing lots of wheat still standing to all of a sudden fields of beautiful straw windrows and straw spread and wagons getting dumped onto trucks and all sorts of stuff this morning. So it's starting down here to the southwest. I'm figuring around home we might see some wheat come off end of this week. I always use sort of the 18th of July as the starting date as to when sort of around the London area goes. Today's the 14th. It's my girlfriend's Rebecca's birthday today, so happy birthday to her. Hope she has a really good day, and looking forward to having a special dinner with her tonight. But yeah, so that's what we're doing. We'll get down there, I put the head on at the store, do a quick run with it just to make sure that everything's still okay. I did that the other day when it was at the other store, but I've become a bit OCD in my old age here, and when you're doing demos, it never hurts to check things out while you're still at the shop when you've got a service tech or somebody close to you that can help if we need it. So we'll do that. We'll decide where we're going from a customer standpoint as to who we're going to go see, and we'll get that thing out there and we'll start rolling. Well, we made it out to the field. I did a little bit of a small cut here just to sort of see how things are looking, and machine's dialed in. I got perfect sample in the bin. I've got 0.48 of a bushel coming out the back end on the losses. The only thing I've got to deal with is the chopper is spreading a tad bit wide. You can see how it's getting up just into the next pass a little bit, so I'm gonna have to play with that a little bit, but they're spreading the straw here. So this is our Ideal 8 at Advantage Farm Equipment this year. We have an Ideal 7, but we used it last fall for the majority of our demo season, and we didn't want to put any more hours onto it because we'd really like to sell it. So if anybody's looking for a tracked Ideal 7, we've got one. But this Ideal 8 is a 2022. Not a whole lot of differences different with the machines. The only big one will be is that the unloading auger on this one, we don't have a fold on the end, and the angle on this one sits a little bit lower. So down here in Essex is actually perfect for this because majority of the ground is absolutely flat down this way. So we're gonna run that today. We got a 50-acre wheat field here, and then we're moving into some more stuff over towards Essex, sort of around this area tomorrow, and then maybe up into Leamington Wednesday or Thursday. But this machine here, we've got a 6 bushels a second unload, 485 bushel hopper up on top. We're using the standard power flow tailboard at the back. So we're using the fins to spread in the middle. This fin is movable with the different speed that we can run on the actual chopper. And then we're running our chaff is actually getting blown into the chopper, and we're blowing it all out as one to make the spread nice and even. This unit's 2-wheel drive. I've got it set up inside that the concaves, got fine wire in the front 4 with 2 filler strips under each, and in the back I've got finger concaves in the separating area, 2 blanks that actually block it off, and then another finger before the end of it. That seems to be doing really well for us for this. This is the same Geringhoff head that we used last fall for soybeans. We've now got it put up into rigid, which is these little blocks. There's a couple on the side that we have to do as well. That locks the knife rigid, and then it can still hinge and flex over the contours that we get in this field. But yeah, we did a drop test already with this. It was 2.1 grams, which ends out being, if you put it over the spread width and everything like that, it ended up being around that 0.48 of a bushel. And the spread's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. There's maybe a little bit of a heavy spot down the middle. I'll have to play with that as we get rolling here a little bit. But we're gonna start cutting wheat here in, I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 minutes. And as soon as the buggy shows up, and we will get going. I'll show you some more as we get flying here. Oh, we're officially rolling. The 8's chewing up wheat. We've had a really good run so far. Did a few little things with the settings, not a whole lot. It's running about 14.4 for moisture. I'm down to a 0.34 bushel losses, and I love this place. They've got some Massey's, 8732, 6495, and a 7624. Gorgeous, gorgeous tractors. So the 8 is rocking here. We're spreading the straw. I got it fined out so that it's not leaving streaks anymore. What it is, you can see this pass right here. It's sitting on top, and everything else through here is sort of down through, sitting on top and then sitting on top. It's just the angle as to how it's spreading out, but it's completely even all the way across. So this farm, so Dad's running the combine, son's running the green buggy, and Uncle is in the tractor running wagons. So as I said, the only thing with the 22 is the auger doesn't swing up quite as high as what a 2024 does. So I've got the preset set up in the header. You can see the hockey sticks running down along the bottom there. So I've got one preset set up for about 8 inches off the ground, which is where we're sitting right now. And then we've got another one set up for about 4 inches off the ground, 3 inches off the ground. And that's where he can go down and get the down wheat. It's not laying completely flat. It's just laying sort of on top of it. And that 3-inch cut allows it to get underneath of it and just scoop the heads up. And it's working pretty good. So the straw spreader, like I said earlier, was the biggest thing that I was struggling to get set up. And I ended up having to slow the speed down and pull the vanes back just a little bit so that it would spread properly. I love dust out of the back end. Oh. So there you can see now it's just sort of, it's not quite making it to the edge. Just every once in a while when it gets a good wad, it sort of just gets to the edge of it, which is perfect. So when he comes back on his next pass here, it's not feeding back through the head again. And here, he went low to get down into some of this down wheat here. So you can see how it actually is very even all the way across. It just looks heavier when it's got the taller straw because it catches it differently and doesn't let it fall down in between the passes. So I'll get up in the wheat here so that when he comes down, we can get a good shot of him coming back this way. So down here in Essex, they have these, you can't really see it here where my foot is. They're little divots. They're drainage ditches, basically. And I have tripped over so many of them today. It's crazy. Not used to that. When we, back in London, we don't get that. So he's running 3.6, 3.8, just because of being comfortable with it. I think it'd probably run close to 4, maybe up even to 4.5 if we really pushed it. But first day out, first machine time that he's ever run one like this, and it's good the way that it is. So we're a little over halfway here now. They're just going to do an unload on the go here for me to be able to videotape, and then the son's going to hop in with me and spend some time in the combine before I got to go and get him used to it, and they can finish up this field. They got maybe, I don't know, 3 rounds over here, 2 rounds, and then I think they probably got 3 or 4 back on that side. So they're not going to be much longer getting this done. So like I said, this is a 2022. All of the updates and everything that would need to make this combine similar to a 23 or 24 or newer have been done. The only thing that can't be done is the unloading auger. And you'll see as they get underneath here, it's tighter than I would like it to be. Let's put it that way. On flat ground down here, it wouldn't make a difference. You get into hilly ground and you got to be very careful because you will touch if you go through a washout with that out. That was just a reversible fan that just went up on the top. What I like is I like standing out here when the chopper goes by, and I like trying to feel whether or not there's any seeds coming out the back end and hits me. the seeds being a heavier density, they'll carry more than the straw will, so they'll sometimes flick into the next pass. And I didn't feel anything on that, so I'm pretty confident that with how we got this thing set up that we don't have any losses coming off the back end of it, and that's it's pretty awesome. I'm pretty happy with this today. So with that, I want to thank everybody for watching. This is just the first video of the Combine series doing wheat. We're starting in Essex. We got 3 or 4, maybe 5 more demos down this way, and we'll start making our way to London. So I'll try and do a video every time we get moved into a different spot, and show you how this Class 8 measures up against a bunch of other combines. Now, they're running a smaller Massey. It wasn't a comparison, so we really didn't care about that part of it being in the field, but I've got some other guys we're gonna run against a Kloss probably later this week, a couple deers, another bigger Massey. So we'll have some comparisons there to be able to see what the two of them are doing, and we'll see what we get. So thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.